I have the best and the worst deal in Lawndale. So Lawndale is, Hawthorne. Hawthorne's kind of a bedroom community here in the South Bay, LA, and it's a good rental market. You know, a lot of kind of B, C properties, working class, great place to invest. And we've got here the best and the worst priced 4 units that sold in Hawthorne in 1989. And we have this because we've been around for over 50 years. I found a stack of old MLS cards. These are the actual MLS cards from this one's from 1980, similar building, going back that far. And so we're really fortunate to have old stuff like this. This is what the MLS used to look like. You got a little picture of the building on the back, and the details were on this little yellow note card. We have a whole box of them because we had them from back in the day. So we found the best price and the worst price 4 unit from that market. And so you could argue that this investor that bought this Acacia property really did well. They got the best deal on a similar 4 unit at that time. This buyer that bought this 118th Street property got hosed. They overpaid. They paid the highest amount possible for any similar property that year for $525. This was the down payment required for each one. A price in 2020 for a similar property is about $1.6 million. And if they just bought this property, forgot about all the other elements of return and ignored it, their gross profit from sale would be 1.13 in the Acacia property, or $1,075,000 on 118th. The difference in their average annual return is less than 0.5% between these two properties. I know this is a super simple example, but stick with me here for a minute. So now let's say that the person who wanted this Acacia property absolutely had to get the best deal possible on the market. They wanted to make sure they did better than anybody else in this area. And the person that bought the 118th Street property was just ready to go, and they understood time value of money, and they just bought when it was appropriate for their life. So because the person in Acacia had to wait, they waited a year to buy that property, and they got a better price. But the person that bought the worst deal bought a year earlier. So despite getting a better price, look at what happens to the returns on these two investors. You got a little better deal, and you waited a year, and you ended up being worth almost $7 million. That's great, buying this property and re-leveraging using the same assumptions and estimates from before. Or you were ready to take action, you understood long-term math, and you bought the worst deal on the market. It's a bummer, but you did it. And as a result, you made $2 million more at the end of your investment portfolio's life than the person who waited a year to get the very best deal. That's the dilemma of the good deal. And it's so common to see people get caught in this logic trap because they feel like they have to do that in order to make money investing in real estate. But in reality, this is an illustration of why that little n, as in the exponent of the time value of money equation, is so important. This investor who started 1 year earlier, in the 19th year of their investment portfolio, are making $2 million because they had an extra year of their money working for them that the investor who had to steal their property didn't. It's a really interesting case study.